welcome to a special edition of the Neighborhood Watch. I'm Matt.
Happy Sunday. I'm Pat.
I'm Abe.
I'm Brett. And we have a special guest.
Very special.
I'm Sabina.
So she's back.
Our City Council person.
City Council. We had her on here when she was running for her chair. Is that what you call it? Right?
Her position.
Her position.
Recliner.
And now
she was
you-
successful.
Yep. And you've been in the position since, when did you take?
Well, I got elected November 7th.
Yep.
Remember we went to when she was sworn in? We went there.
Yep.
We were
The
filming
swearing
there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, welcome.
Excellent.
Thank you so much.
So now that we are sitting in basically October in a couple days, how has it been?
So certainly an amazing experience. The more I get into it, the more excited I am that I'm part of the board, if you will. So I'm sure all of you know, but City Council is 4 council members that are elected and the mayor. And as a board, if you will, for the city, we make sure, we take care of your money, we take care of the budget, we're looking out for the infrastructure, we're looking out, for the safety of the city.
Mm-hmm.
And so all of that, it can only be passed by a majority vote. So none of us individually can impact it. It has to be 3, 4, or 5 of us that vote in favor of spending any of that's money that we spend for the budget. It's certainly been a learning experience for me. And as I've learned, I've been able to go out and talk to people who are like, what is this mystery as a city? What do you guys do? What happens there? And talk about that, articulate that. And then now I'm starting to bring up some of the things that I'm passionate about as well. And I would love to see us look at, because I think the first 6 months were learning and listening, because that is very important. And now it's like, okay, there are key things which are important to me, and I think we should be talking about those.
What are a couple of those things?
So vaping is a
Yes.
big one for me.
Yeah.
So we need to
Oh,
start
yeah,
looking at that.
vaping's ridiculous.
So
That's-
The schools don't even pay attention to it.
well, I've heard the school board is really, going the education route, and kids that are caught kind of have to take a class over the weekend or something. We haven't looked at a policy which it's coming up very quickly, right? This just epidemic, if you will, just blew up.
Yeah.
For me, the other important thing was, as a city, we have people working in tech, and we just are not making good use of that brain power, if you will. So having a innovation and technology committee made up of citizens, of San Ramon, and maybe some businesses that are in San Ramon, and that can advise the council. So knock on wood, that was out to the policy committee. It'll come to council, and if that gets approved, I think we will get some people who historically don't engage with the city come and advise the city.
That'd be good.
Do you want a little tidbit on, back to the vaping thing really quick? So, Brett, you went to high school here. I went to high school here in Dublin. And, San Ramon. We actually had, this is crazy, you're not going to believe this. We had a smoking section at the high school. If you were 16 or over, you could stand in this little boxed area right off the parking lot and smoke. In between classes, you could chew tobacco, you could do whatever you wanted.
San Ramon High was.
And the teachers would go out there
And smoke with
during
you?
break and smoke with the kids that
Wow.
smoked. I
San
never
Ramon
smoked.
High, that smoking section was by the front door of the library. So if you want to go to the library,
Yeah.
you had to walk to the smoking section.
So wait, to buy a pack of cigarettes, you have to be how old?
So we're talking about vaping,
Yeah.
and kids, but nobody smoked in the bathroom in high school because
It was
Yeah.
you
outside.
just went to
Yeah.
the smoking section, and maybe you got caught if you were under 16. But
How do they check?
I was
you
never-
don't have a
that was
license or anything.
I was never one of those people.
That was different.
anyway,
Yeah, right, yeah.
yeah, but the vaping is bad because
It
we've
smells so
confronted
good.
we've confronted the administration about it, and they say there's nothing they can do. And my children, and his children,
Yeah.
and his kid, they don't want to go in the bathrooms at school
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it's full of vaping. They get popcorn
Yeah.
while.
Yeah, and with all the flavored tobacco and all of that.
Yeah, it makes it all
really
smell
good.
good.
children.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like
Not
advertised to kids,
Yeah, it's not good.
Well,
So
it's being like
we need to
harshly-
address
They're
it.
going after pretty drastically at a federal level or a state level. I mean, there's some things going on.
There's all of a sudden, right?
Yeah.
The CEO just got ousted. And
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's good. I'm glad
Yeah.
that somebody at the city is paying attention to this because the school seems to be helpless. But yeah, that's my.
So
Like,
I have a question. You're talking about the voting, like the majority. How does that work when they've kind of separate the districts now into, like, as Brett calls it, the
Hunger
Hunger
Games.
Games style?
Yeah.
it is.
So now we're one of the ordinances we
Rats
passed.
running for District 2 in
Yeah.
2022.
Awesome.
It's bad.
So yeah, we've divided up the districts for the council members. In my personal opinion, I am for districts, although the way we drew the maps, I voted against them because I thought there was, some lines drawn which were to favor certain candidates. The direction was that we want everybody to kind of keep their district.
Yeah.
I think it was an opportunity for us to do the right thing and create a district which would allow maybe some young blood, some new people to arise. And the advantage I see of districts is they're small enough where people who are in their community known, they've been, whether they've been in the PTA, whether they've been, working within the community, doing something for their community, have an opportunity to really rise because of the districts. As council, we still represent the entire city, but as district, I can tell you when I ran the citywide election, it's not cheap. It's expensive. It takes
Yeah.
money, right?
Right.
And it shouldn't. It is when we serve on council, it is serving the people, representing a voice of the people. It's being on your homeowner association, or I'm not trying to minimize it, but what I'm saying is it really is a true representation of your community. And so district allows people who may not be able to fundraise, and have $50,000 in the bank and things like that, to really run a grassroots campaign and win from those districts. So when San Ramon had 25,000 citizens, we had 5 members, council members that with rotating mayor. Now that we're almost 85,000,
Yeah,
breaking the district into 25 each makes sense to me, at least.
Okay.
We should always, have that hat that we will represent the entire city, but I think it allows for people not to be part of, if you will, the establishment, or any of that, and be able to represent their community. I would love to see one of the PTA presidents come and serve on city council, because I've been, on PTA, and I know how hard our moms and dads work there. So if they can serve the PTA, they can serve the city.
Or Raptor presidents probably.
That's
would
right,
be-
like,
could be,
yeah.
Sitting on one of these chairs.
Yeah.
Somebody like me.
Someone like Pat.
Several Raptors.
So,
All right.
do you hear a lot of criticism on the city center?
It's interesting. Either people love it and hate it, and so the good thing is that's what art is supposed to be, right?
Yeah.
We all know that there was an Italian, Ronzo Piano is the one who designed it, so there's certainly a reaction, right?
Yeah. Sorry.
Well, I've been told he's Italian, so I don't know if he is.
We love Italians.
I'm
yeah.
Italian.
Matt's Italian.
So it certainly draws a reaction, but every time I go there, and I've been in city center at 11 o'clock, and I can't believe I'm in San Ramon, right? It's great that we can actually go out somewhere, whether
Yeah.
you go to the lot or you go to the wine bar, whether
Yeah.
you're sitting outside. It's really coming together as a place.
Yeah, I think it is. You're right. It might have been opened prematurely, maybe not, but it's coming together. Like
Yeah.
you said, it's really
Yeah.
coming into its own. I
It's
think.
really neat. I was there last night at the lot, like having dinner and then a movie, and then after the movie, go sit and have a drink and stuff like
Yeah.
that. It's just really cool they have music,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's a nice little place to
Yeah,
go.
they always have different music
Never could do
downstairs.
that.
Yeah,
there,
where else
and-
are you gonna go in
Yeah.
San Ramon? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So,
Very good.
And during the summer, like all the kids, I almost want to have kids all over again, because these little kids are playing with Lego
Yeah.
blocks.
Yeah.
and
Really
it's
like
fun.
that
They
area.
really like,
Yeah, it's
they're
great
always
to take your little
taking
kids.
it.
It really is a place for the community.
Yeah.
So
So-
it's coming around.
But those of us with now older kids that want to go out somewhere, I haven't left San Ramon in a a while because I end up at either the lot or the wine lounge next door with a social affair.
Mhm.
Social affairs kid, we've been there.
Yep.
Yeah, movie night with my daughter. It's like,
And we
I can
like,
drive her into watching a movie with me there.
Mhm.
So I think it's done great for the community. The farmers market is amazing. It's really started
Yeah.
growing from.
It's a good. I think they've always had a problem with the location. Now they got a good
Hey,
location.
Brett,
Yeah.
Bryce,
You know?
he gets his broccoli there every week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got a good
So-
barbecue.
Green beans, he gets them down
Yeah,
there at the
string
farmer's
beans.
market.
I want to start getting out there at least once a month at the farmers market so that I'm able to talk to people.
Rub elbows with the people.
Yeah.
We should film over there at the farmer's market
We
one
need
day.
to.
Yeah, after we do the mayor's breakfast
Yeah.
next in October.
We spent a
We're
bunch of
there.
time at the city center, and then we've kind of bounced around at different topics, but
Yeah.
we enjoyed our time there.
Yeah.
We hit the wine bar
Yeah.
We hit it. Yeah, we hit it hard.
and a lot.
Um,
So how's the city? Are we in good shape? Are we?
The city's in good shape. The city, we have a $111 million budget right now. It's all positive. Like I said, we have the money to spend. Most of it we spend on our police,
Yeah.
safety,
Yeah.
and the other half goes to public works. So, we're very, very, careful about making sure that people value the safety, and we were voted, the
Yeah.
safest city
Talked about
to
that.
live in. So that's something which people really value and want. So a goal is to make sure we continue to keep it safe. The other one is public works, right? People like the good streets, the pavements, what we're putting into our parks, and all of that takes a lot of money.
Yeah.
People don't see it for it to look like this. I have stats on the number of parks we own, the number of sprinklers we own, the number of
Yeah.
all of that, right? You just take care of your backyard and it costs you. So the city invests a lot of money in the infrastructure. And if you ever want to see when your street will get paved, we actually have it online where it says the year, and because that's all been planned out and
Yeah.
how it's going to
We
all
need
roll
to see
out.
that.
Yeah.
We do.
We need some paving.
We do.
Yeah,
are we
do.
due? Are we due, Pat?
I think we're due next year.
We need
I
to.
think,
We need to
yeah, I
paint the
checked.
front of your sidewalk again. It's starting to fade out a little bit, isn't it? Never mind.
And now we're overlaying that with a bike plan. So anytime we do any new pavement, we have a master bike plan that we're going to overlay as we start doing our pavement.
What's the deal with the overpass, Iron Horse?
It's been approved.
Okay.
So we've been able to, most of the funding we've been able to get through Measure J, through some of the different funding sources we've submitted, and we've been able to get that money. So 14 million is actually already funded for that bridge. We're going to need some more money. There is another measure coming on the ballot around transportation, and we will probably get some of the rest of the money from that. So we've been able to fund it from different sources, from different grants and things like that. So the city's been really creative. It is expensive, but I found out there were other bridges when I started talking to other mayors and council members in other cities.
That's what
It
they
didn't
go
seem
for.
as expensive.
Yeah.
Just the cost of labor, the cost of building material, everything is at its peak right now. What we did actually, we were the inspiration for a bill in the assembly, which Assemblywoman Rebecca Powerkane passed, is that we should be able to negotiate a rate, and then that rate, for any construction that's going to happen, and that should not change over the course. It should be a fixed rate, and so she specifically referred our overpass, and that's kind of going to be the inspiration of any construction going forward, so that if it takes it 2 to 3 years, there's not a shift in the price, so that our budget stays the same.
When are they looking to start and finish?
So I'm
Roughly, I know
hearing
that.
it should start soon. We've already started doing the CEQA study and all of that. So I think actually I had the flyer and I left it in my car. Couple of years is when it should be construction should be complete.
Oh.
I'm sure once construction starts, we'll see some disruptions, and we'll
Yeah.
have to mitigate
Right.
some of that.
Right.
But yeah, and all the redemptions that I've seen and everything, it looks really nice, and hopefully it'll connect the long-term vision of what that San Ramon downtown looks like.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. And then, so, I guess that's the next, sorry guys, I didn't mean to.
No, it's fine.
But then another hot topic is the 4,500
Yeah, just about to say that.
houses, and then, but there's also a lot more to it than that.
Yeah.
So that's just sort of the headline people see.
Yeah.
What's going on with that? What's more to that?
So Bishop Ranch came to us and proposed a 25-year plan, saying, you know, over the next 25 years, we want to kind of roll out, if you will, a mini downtown for San Ramon, which they proposed 5 different buildings that that they want to build there. What they're proposing is 6 parks, I believe, 3 transit centers, walkable, bikeable kind of downtownish place where their goal is to attract a younger workforce as well, and for younger people to be able to live in San Ramon. Right now, our 18 to 29 population is only 3% in San Ramon.
Wow.
So kids and young
Yeah.
adults just leave. Some of the feedback they've heard from businesses is as well, you know, we would like to bring our business to San Ramon, but then we need a mix of workforce. Again, it's a proposal. It won't even come to council for maybe another 2 years for really approval, because they have to do the CEQA study, they have to do the water study, make sure all of that is available. Who knows at the end of it if it's 4,500 or if it's less, or we also have to meet certain numbers. We call them the RENA numbers, which the state imposes on every city. And as a council, our goal has been, let's build in the core and let's not build on our, hills, and let's protect the outside,
Yeah.
basically, our hills and the urban limit line. And so we, instead of saying, let's, give any developer who comes in to meet our numbers, let's keep it to the core. The other thing is, we also passed an ordinance which says 15% of any development that happens in San Ramon is going to be affordable. And the way Bishop Ranch is proposing is, they're like, you will never be able to tell the difference between, it'll be all in the same building, same amenities. We'll bake in the affordable housing in there, so that people never feel like, they're affordable or whatever, but we will, meet those numbers as
Yeah.
well. So, again, it's back to the public. They're going to do we asked them to go out and do a lot of public outreach.
Mhm.
I believe they had one Thursday between 4 and 7. They will have, some at the farmers market, and they told us they will continue to get input. We've got a special link and a website on our website, which you can go and give your feedback. So as a council, we're looking to see, what our citizens are saying.
Mm.
What is your feedback? How do you want this to look? So it's a 25-year plan.
Yeah.
It's a great time, I think, in the history of San Ramon now, for people to come in and really give their input into where they want the city going.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. That's good. That's great. There it is.
Boom.
So
There it is.
A lot of information.
nothing's been approved.
Yeah, yeah. But
Not
they'll-
for another
but,
few years.
But they'll be, make use of the city council meetings, and you get the public gets a chance to speak,
Yeah.
and I guess, of course, watch Neighborhood Watch, because we'll be talking about
Yeah,
it.
we're talking about it.
And I almost like that it was such a headline which people just got up out of their chairs and said, what? Because that's, we need some of that
Yeah.
input and reaction and people to
Well,
to
and
get
what I've
going.
learned in the Citizens Planning Committee, which I recommend anybody do, I'm in my 4th week, started tomorrow. Yeah, it's a lot of these are it's a long-term plan, so it's 25
Yeah.
years. So people think 4,500 houses, and well, it's not next week. It's going to be over 20 years.
It's a long time. And they're planning.
And it's about 15,000 residents. So if you think we're 80,000 now, or 85,000, and the city's goal is to get to 95,000 over 20 years, that's
You
think
need to
about
place
that.
people they have to live somewhere.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
the biggest anti-growth guy out there. Trust me. I would burn down half these developments, but I'm because I like space. But I understand this is why it's good for me to do this, people. We also went to some of the new developments. They're very nice, and we've talked about on the show before, the houses that are being built now. those were approved
30 years
15,
Yeah, long time
20,
ago.
25 years ago. Like,
Before.
Yeah.
you know,
Before Sabina.
this,
25-year
Wait,
plan.
so-
the
She
city,
had nothing to do with it,
the
guys.
city council now is not approving the homes up on the hill. So I guess for me, it's making me put a lot of thought in the city, and I
Just-
like
well,
it.
just
I'm
like-
glad I did it.
Yeah.
Good.
This
We're
is-
glad
that's
you did
perfect
too.
as far as being involved.
I'm not burning anything down now. See,
Yeah.
I'm
He's
very
happy now,
happy.
So
guys.
in 25 years, we
Yeah.
could blame it on you.
Yeah.
Is what you're saying?
No, I'm just very content as a citizen of San Ramon.
We do, but the 18 to 19. I mean, the younger generation not having a
They
place
need
to
more
live.
brew pubs. They need field works.
Yeah.
They need,
Well, they help fill.
That's right. It's
jobs
going to
and-
infill there,
Yeah,
but they need places to live too, and it's
Yep.
important because
for sure.
we want our kids coming back here and living
Yep.
in the place where we live.
Keep it
Yeah.
up.
All right.
All right. Awesome. This is very informative. Anything you want to?
Well, you all know about the Trader Joe's, right?
Oh yeah.
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 How's that going?
That's pretty. You're probably seeing it come
Yes.
up. I've heard it's late fall is when we expect that there'll be. I mean, I'm personally excited. That was one of the first conversations that I had with one of the other council members, and they said, Trader Joe's is one of those things. Everybody knows they want it in San Ramon, but we've got one in Pleasanton, and we've got one in
Danville.
Danville, and so they're never going to come here. And then a month later,
Boom.
we
Yeah.
find out that.
I personally think that's going to be a traffic nightmare over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's me and my anti-development mindset. They've got nowhere to go. It's that parking lot's already a mess. We'll see, San Ramon.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to
Prove
walk.
me wrong. You know that. Who's that guy who sits at the colleges and he's like, "Prove me wrong." I'll show you. That's me. Like, you got to prove me
Yeah.
wrong because
The guy with the chalkboard behind his head.
not Prager.
Oh, okay.
One of these guys. He sits at the universities. He's like, "Prove me wrong." I think I'm that guy, and I hate to be negative, but I just think
Prove
It's
at
Yeah.
it's
wrong.
pretty
I think,
it's pretty
uh,
condensed right now for sure.
it's already condensed, and
I don't know
it's
where
going to
we-
be.
a nightmare.
Yeah, if you think
A parking nightmare.
we need
So
a-
parking nightmare.
we need a
hopefully-
if they
10-story
think
parking
people
lot
are going to
just
ride
to-
their bikes over there, good luck. But we'll sit there, and we love Trader Joe's. I'm a big fan,
Yes.
and it's good for the whole city. So we've always wanted one.
The thing about Trader Joe's though, it's it's usually quick, right? You go into Trader
Yeah.
Joe's.
Yeah, you
small,
get your
you
nuts.
you
where
buy
it is.
certain things.
You get your
there.
water and
I
your
know,
nuts,
I know my
and you
wife
feel
does.
good
Yeah.
about.
She knows right where
You
she's.
feel
she's
good
like-
because you're shopping at Trader Joe's.
Yes.
But it's
And
like
you have
20
your
minutes you're in,
recyclable
you're out.
bag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you had your samples of food. It'll be good. I'm just saying.
Yeah, well, hopefully if the
somebody's
long-term
gotta call it
vision-
out.
Yeah. Long-term vision works. We can really
Yeah.
connect the Iron Horse Trail with, some of the, if you will, arteries
Getting
of the
around.
city and get people to bike and
Yeah.
walk, and we've got to get there at some point. And if
Brett, you can bike. We can start
Yeah,
biking.
yeah.
We can
We
get
need
a. Why don't we get a
scooters.
four?
Yeah.
It's
a
really
four
not that
person
far
bike?
from us though.
trailers,
As
do neighborhood
it's
food run.
just over a mile on the trail. We could walk there.
yeah,
It is.
We can get our exercise.
What
We
about a
can-
four-person bike?
We could do neighborhood walks to Trader
Could
Joe's.
burn-
you know,
burn off
there's
our
some
carbs before we eat
creative
'em.
modes of transportation which are coming up now, right? And
Scooters? Are we getting scooters?
Scooters are one of them. There's
People
some.
are gonna get
you
killed
know,
on those
later.
scooters.
I'm a big fan of allowing some of that, shared bikes and things like that.
Yeah. Are
in the
they? Is
city.
that something about? You go to other cities where they have bikes just sitting on the corners.
Yeah.
And you just take them and stuff like
There's
that.
some
So-
here.
I go to downtown Denver and they have these scooters, and I swear people are gonna get killed.
But they're in San
It's
Francisco. They're in
busy.
San
Yeah.
Jose.
Yeah.
Right?
It's not San Ramon. San
Yeah.
Ramon's
San
less
Diego.
expensive.
we have some bikes here, I think. 'Cause I
We
see
have
them
some
in front of the
scooters.
police
I've seen
department.
scooters.
Oh, really?
Bishop Branch? Yeah, I've seen
Yeah.
Yeah,
scooters.
they ditch
Bishop
them on the
Branch
Iron
actually-
Horse.
They're probably
Sorry, I'm
personal
interrupting
scooters. No. So Bishop Branch has this bike program, which
Yeah.
if you work there, you can actually tap and check out. But those are
With your
parked
phone.
bikes. With your Bishop
an
Branch,
app.
with your phone, with the
Okay.
app,
Oh,
right?
and it
With
pays
your
for
app.
That's
it or
cool.
something.
Bishop Branch provides it as a service
Oh,
to
okay.
whoever works within Bishop Branch.
Nice.
Oh, that's really cool.
And then you have to kind of park them back. So
We have
they-
to return it.
You have to
They can-
return
they
it,
can ride
and if
the
you
Trader
take it
Joe's.
outside, it will actually send
stops.
you a notification
It
and say,
stops moving.
"No, it'll move, but it'll say you will be charged.
Fall off the side.
You're going to be charged because you're out of, our
You
whatever."
just stop and you go head over
Oh
heels.
man, that'd be a nightmare.
No, I get it, but you could bring it back and no
Yeah.
charge.
So those are the conversations I've been having with the city manager, and trying to figure out. I think staff wants those bikes that can be parked versus which you can leave anywhere else.
That makes a lot of sense.
I was talking actually to the mayor of Alameda, and she said, they allowed those. I think line bikes is what
Yeah.
they allowed, and she said most of the time it works out great because you can just pick a bike from wherever. I was in Seattle actually, and Seattle has bikes and scooters as well, and there were neighborhoods which you would never imagine like there'd be bikes, but there were bikes sitting all over, and it's those few people that will throw them in the canal or do
The
something
canal,
stupid
yeah.
like that, are not taking care of them. So I think that's the balance. The cities, it's such a new thing that the cities are still learning what's the right balance to
Yeah.
strike
Yeah.
when we allow something like this. But it certainly leads people to bike more,
Yeah.
scooter more.
Absolutely.
You're gonna ride up Bollinger Canyon Road.
On
Okay.
a scooter.
Take it into Bishop Ranch open space.
All
Or
right.
four-wheel.
Excellent.
Well, thank you.
Lots of good information.
Thank
Yeah,
you for
it's great.
coming and sharing a lot of your knowledge. I wanted to say, guys, this is local area on Wednesday, the American League wild card, the A's, right, have a home game versus the Tampa Bay Rays, and so root for those A's.
Yeah.
And
I
then
heard- I heard it's gonna be a packed house.
packed house.
Yeah, 55,000.
Packed house.
And then on Thursday, stay for these guys, okay? Because this is it's finally this
Who
is the
that,
year.
Lad?
Yeah.
The
Who's
Dodgers, the lads.
Oh.
So thank you, Sabina, for coming. We appreciate the time you gave us. Really informative. Any last
Yeah.
words?
No, it's great. I think that it was great to have you on initially, and now
Yeah.
all that information is great. I think a lot of times we don't either know or get to hear about it or are too busy. So it's great to for
Yeah,
you to come
it's
and
good
share.
follow-up.
Yeah.
And I would say, I'm very available. Feel free to reach out, email me, go on our city website. My email's there, my phone number is there. Feel free to text me or email me, reach out. I love hearing from the citizens, and I love hearing from everybody because I always want to keep an ear to the ground. We do a lot of stuff at City Hall, but unless we continue to wear that hat of we are representing the people of San Ramon, it really, for me, it just doesn't matter if I can't do that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love having you on. It's been great, and like I said a few minutes ago, I'm one of the most skeptical ones. But what I'm doing in the city and this citizens planning thing, I think you all should do it. I love it. I'm learning so much and getting enlightened.
We're gonna do the police academy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that'll
fun.
be a joke. That'll
Police
be a movie
Academy
unto
6.
itself.
So we have three.
So-
The city offers 3 different
No
academies.
guns for you.
That's why we're doing it.
Yeah.
I took that and I enjoyed what you.
You did it?
Yeah, I've done.
Oh,
the
heck yeah.
citizens,
So we're gonna
it's
do this.
fun, especially when they let you drive the police cars. on
Oh,
this
yeah?
Oh,
course.
yeah,
Oh, then we're definitely doing
I don't know
this,
about
dude.
that.
That's
Yeah.
all we need. Matt down the field worth in driving police
Yeah.
cars.
So
wanna-
we
I wanna-
sponsor the Police Citizens Academy twice a year. We do the Planning Academy, and then there is another
Yeah.
one more academy. I forget the name, but it's Citizens Academy. So the city
That's great.
sponsors that, and one of the goals is to help people understand how we make some of these decisions, and you be our
Yeah,
advocates.
no, it's great.
I want to drive that new SWAT
the
SWAT
SWAT.
Yeah.
car that the police.
I want to be in the back with the.
Yeah.
The 4 of us.
You Pat,
Last
you
thing
gonna
I
say
will
something?
say is there's topics about protests at
Oh, I saw
Chevron for
that.
Earth Day or
Drove
whatever
by.
it's called. Earth Day. Recycling cans and other stuff. More trash stuff next week.
Next
Yeah,
week it's going to be how to trash with Dave. Learn to trash
how
with
to
Dave.
trash with
Getting
Abe.
down and dirty.
That's Abe.
Getting down
Abe,
dirty.
this is Abe, and he's going to show you
Well,
how
we're
to
talking about
compost.
This
Abe.
is
We're talking about
Abe.
Abe special episode.
Yeah, special episode. Only Abe.
He's going to show you how to compost in 25 words or less.
All right, guys. Thank you for.
Love ya.
Love you. Stay classy, Santa Ron. Peace.